Today, I'm super excited because the Divi 5 design system is now on version 2 and it is a huge update. So first of all, we're going to get now an interface that looks like this. And by the way, it is now installed using a plugin, which is something we didn't have before. So this is the new interface. It's going to tell you how many colors you have, your fonts, your total variables, and also your presets. And the UI is very basic and very easy to use. Here, you'll be able to drag and drop your JSON files for your variables and also for your presets over here. Over here on the export, let's say you are a design agency or a freelancer and you want to share your design system with the rest of your team, you can export everything from here and it will tell you everything that you need. So if you decide, you know what, you don't want to export the primary color, the secondary color, and so on, you can just uncheck what you don't want to export. And then over here, it'll give you an update as to what you're exporting. And just by doing that, you just go ahead and download the design system and pretty much you're good to go. We also have a rollback feature. Let's say you import a design system, it doesn't work, and you want to go back to the last working version or the previous version that you prefer, you can just do a rollback and it takes you back to that snapshot. Here we have a changelog. It tells you exactly what happened, what was added. So for example, here you can see all our spacing was added. And if I scroll down here, you can see all the colors and so on. Next, we also have our reset. Now, this is very powerful as well. You can delete all your presets here. You can delete all your variables, and then your website is going to be clean with nothing on it. Next, we also have our system, and this is also very important because gone are the days now where you would say, oh, you know what, I don't even know what version of the design system I'm on. Am I on Crafter or 1.2? I'm seeing 1. Now you can just take a look here, a variable file, it will tell you, and it will also tell you the design system file. So when there's an update, it's going to show you that you're on version 2.1 or 2.2 or 2.3. just by coming over here to this tab. Now, let's say something is wrong with your WordPress install. You can also use these. I mean, this is used by developers. This information could help diagnose what the problem is. Finally, we have our links here. So this will take you straight to the community. This will take you to support. If you haven't purchased the Divi mastery course, you can purchase it over here at only $37. You also have the Crafter Pro user guide. This comes with a user guide. And then finally, once the affiliate is on, you guys can earn 50% by trying to sell Crafter Pro to your existing customers or to anyone. And you can also get 50% commission. And we're also going to get a tab here, which is going to have a getting started video. So that's going to be coming up very soon. So now that we've spoken about this, how do we get up and running and what's the big deal about Crafter? Well, over here we have a website. This is our default WordPress install. I haven't done anything here. All I've done is I've gone in and I've added 2 presets. So if I come over here, you'll notice that I have added this heading 1 preset. And I've also added a preset over here on the text, which is the Mac preset and the Mac preset 2. That's all I've done. Everything is vanilla. It is how it is in Divi 5. So the question now is, what's the big deal? I mean, what's this Crafter Pro? Well, it is a design system which makes the designing of websites very, very easy. Now, let me show you how to install this brand new version of Crafter Pro. So to install it, what you need to do is to head over here to dashboard, and it's going to take you back over here to your WordPress. So what you need to do is to make sure you're running the latest version of Divi by checking it over here, okay? But what we're interested in here is installing the plugin, because this now comes in a plugin. So you want to come over here to plugins and click on add plugin. The next thing you want to do is to click on upload plugin. So when you purchase Crafter Pro, it's going to come in this zipped file called crafterpro.2.0.zip. Okay, this is the zip file is going to come in. So what you need to do is to unzip this. As soon as you double click to unzip it, you're going to get a folder called crafterpro.2.0, which looks like this. Now, you need to double click and go into that folder. And in that folder, there's 2 files. this is the plugin, and it says here Crafter Pro plugin.zip. Okay, that's what we need to install first. The second one here is our design system, but we're not going to do that first. We're going to do this in order. So we want to start with installing the plugin. So I'm going to drag and drop it over here, just like that. Click on install. And then I'm going to activate the plugin. And now you get an entry over here on the left, which says Crafter Pro. And now when you click on it, it's going to tell you what you have on the system. So at the moment right now, it's telling me I've got 0 colors, 0 fonts, 0 variables, and 8 presets, which is what I created earlier on. Okay, and it also has some system presets as well. So this is what we have. So as you can see, there's nothing really going on here. The next thing you want to do is to now install the design system. So to install the design system, let me just find that file again. And here it is. So I'm just going to bring it over to the side first, just to show you where it needs to go. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure you click on Crafter Pro, and now you're on this interface. Okay. It also tells you here that you're on version 2, and it also tells you that you're running Divi version 5.2.1. Okay. If we go over here to our system, you can see here we don't have a design system here at all. Okay. So to install this, you're going to come over here to this import tab. So our design system is unique because it can be installed over here. So I'm going to click and drag the JSON file, which is this file right here. Drag and drop it here like that. Now, if you decide, you know what, I want to cancel that and I want to install another one, you can just click on cancel and then it's going to go away. So here's where things get really exciting. If I click on replace, remember those 2 variables that I showed you, those are going to disappear. Okay. And if you need to keep your variables on your site, then you want to use the merge import mode. So for now, just to demo this, I'm going to go to merge. Okay. The next thing I want to do is to click on preview import. I'm going to click on that. And there we go. So now it's telling me what is happening. So over here, color variables is telling me these are the colors I have. These are the spacing variables and so on. This is the import summary. Okay. So with this style, if I scroll further down, if I don't want to import anything from this list, I can just uncheck it. So for example, let's say you're using an existing website and you already chosen your colors, then you can just uncheck that. Okay. And you can see it's grayed out. It won't be imported. I'm going to scroll further down here. If you have your own headings or your own heading font or your own body font and you don't want to override it, so you can just uncheck these 2 like that. Okay, so that will work fine. And then over here, these are your spacing scales. You also have all your variables. Okay, so with that, now let's say you're happy with this. Now you can click on confirm and import just by clicking there. Excellent. So now it's telling me import successful. And I scroll back up here. Wow, look at that. We have 57 colors. Now it's got 0 fonts because I did not import any fonts. Okay. And then, these are all my presets and my variables. So the question now is, did this really work? Can it be that easy? Well, it is. I'm just going to refresh this so everything is updated. Now I am going to head over to my system and you're going to see now that I have Crafter Pro 2.0. This is the version that's running. Excellent. The next thing we're going to do now is to head over and start working on our site. So I'm going to say all pages. I'm going to open this in a new tab so we can see what has happened. Now I have this home page. I'm going to go ahead now and click on edit with Divi. Okay. So now that I have this basic design, the first thing I'm going to check is to see what happened to my presets. Were they overridden? So I'm going to select my heading first, come over here, and yes, a Mac heading horn is still there. Okay. And there's no duplicates whatsoever. So this is fantastic. Now, if I go to the paragraph text, I've got 2 presets here. I'm going to select that and let me just check. Yes, Mac presets and Mac preset 2. Okay. Those 2 are there, which means this is working. But you know what? Let's test the other mode as well. So I'm going to come over here, go to not rollback. I want to go to reset. I want to get rid of all the presets. So I'm going to delete all presets by coming over here. And then I'm going to say, okay. So all the presets are gone. And I know they're gone because I trust Crafter, and it says 0 presets over here. Next, I'm going to get rid of all the variables. I'm going to delete the variables and colors, say okay. And yes, it's telling me everything has been deleted. Excellent. So now we have a brand new system. Is it really brand new? Why don't we double check? Back over here, I'm going to refresh. And sometimes if you have a caching plugin, please do clear your cache because it could be that all the updates are still in the cache. So if I click on my heading now, there shouldn't be anything in here. And sure enough, there's nothing. Look at that. How cool is that? If I come over here to the paragraph text, there shouldn't be any presets. And sure enough, there's nothing. Okay, so now that we have seen that this is really working, how about we go in and use the other mode? In fact, let's just go back and reinstall our presets. I'm going to come over here, and just like I did before, I'm just going to look for the file, and here it is. So at this stage, all I have to do is to drag and drop it like that. This time I'm going to use replace, preview and import. And I'm just going to go ahead and say import and confirm. Okay, excellent. So now everything has been imported, which is brilliant. Now I can see that everything is updated. I'm going to come over here to my page and refresh this page. So in fact, let me just save it and just make sure that everything is in place. Okay. I just had to do a hard refresh there because I wanted to make sure that I don't make any mistakes because this is unedited. I'm not editing anything out of from this video. Okay. Now, of course, if you're seeing this taking a bit longer, it doesn't mean that Divi is slow. It just means that I've done a hard reset, okay? Because I want to make sure that everything is working fine. Okay, so now that I've done a hard reset, you notice that my font here has changed. That is because I did not uncheck my fonts when I imported this. So now here's where the fun starts. For those of you who are wondering, what's this design guide? What does it do? Why is it important for Divi? Well, check this out. I can now start stylizing my website super fast. So if I come over here to the top, I can say, okay, you know what? I want to change this into a label. Okay, so now I have a label that I've just added. And if I need to center it, I'm going to come over here to design, sizing, and then center it. Next, I've got my heading here. I'm going to select it over here on the top. I'm going to now this is the design system, by the way. So I need to use K display small, and wow, okay, this is looking great. Next, this is my paragraph text. So I'm going to select it, and then over here, I'm going to choose body text base. Boom. Now I have the right size. Over here on the buttons, I'm going to select my first button here, and I have my button presets. I can go with primary button. I can go with secondary button. I can pretty much go with whatever style that I want to go with. So I'm going to go with primary. And then for this one, I am going to go with a neutral button. Yes, like that. Now, over here, as you can see, I've just used my default columns. So I went and I chose these 3 columns. Now, this is not the way you're supposed to be using these columns, okay? This does not work really well. It's not recommended. Now, let me show you the proper way you need to do it. And you can only do this with this design system, okay? So if I select this, I'm going to choose a single column. And in this column, I'm going to have a blurb, okay? Similar to what I've done here on the top. But where the design system shines, you don't have to redesign this blurb because all the presets are done for you. I'm going to select this module, come over here to the top, and then I can choose which one I want. So I'm just going to go with K blurb like that. If I want to have, let's say, the one with the primary color, I can just choose that. And just like that, you know, everything looks great. Next, I'm going to duplicate this twice. 1, 2, okay? So they're above each other. So the proper way of laying out your information is by using grids, okay? This is supposed to be a grid. Next, I'm going to select my row settings. I'm going to go to elements and then select my column. So my column here has 3 blurbs. So to make sure that I have my auto grid working, I can just select it over here on the top and say auto grid. Now, do you see how neat and how easy this is? The spacing over here on the design system looks way much better. You can see my text here is the right size. Everything is going to be super responsive. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this because this one here, of course, looks better. Now, a lot of designers don't know this, and this is very, very important. When you design, you want to make sure that you're using a 12-column grid, and I have a 12-column grid built into the design system. So if I select my row here, I'm just going to come over here and choose content width. Boom. Just like that. Now over here, I can see my text here is way too wide. Ideally, you want to have it a bit closer because in UI design, it takes longer for someone to read from left to right if everything is too long. So I'm going to come over here and choose wide text width. Boom, just like that. I've got my wide text width. Next, here is where my section is. I need to have the right padding around this. I'm going to come over here and then I'm going to choose extra large because this is my main hero area. So I'm going to scroll down here. We have an image. So I'm going to select my section settings, and then over here, I am going to set my spacing. So I'm going to go with large this time. And while I'm here, I want to go in quickly and choose my background. Now, I don't need to go in and start playing around with the color palettes and all of that because all my colors here are here. I can just go in here and look at this. All my colors are already selected for me, including all my semantic colors and everything. This is really powerful. I know I am just covering just the basics here. Now, okay, now I just want to use the colors presets. I'm going to go with background light, okay, to distinguish my sections. Excellent. So you may be saying, well, is this responsive? Well, the answer to that is yes. If I come over here, look at that. Do you see how things have just updated? Do you see that? How clean and how neat this is? Super responsive, out of the box. No time wasting around, going in here, changing all your sizes to make sure it fits with the proper screen. No, this is already done for you. Now, there's one thing that a lot of designers don't use, and this is the spacing scale. The spacing scale is what separates professional designers from amateur designers. Now, at first glance, this looks like, wow, it looks okay. It's matte. No, it's not okay. I'm going to come over here to row settings. I'm going to go to elements and then select columns. Now in my design tab here, I'm going to hover over layout and set this to gap 0. Okay. Now I've removed all the spacing and now I'm going to go back in and add it intentionally. So the idea here is to add your spacing based on related items. So I'm going to start with my group here and my spacing scale is already here. I just have to click here and then choose margin top. So for this, I'm going to go with medium. And then over here, I'm going to set this to medium as well. Margin top, medium. Okay. And then over here, I am going to set this to a margin top, small. Okay, now my spacing is very intentional. Look at that. So if I were to add my image in here, I can easily add my image. Let's go to pixels. So, I mean, there's many places that you can go to get your images. I'm just going to use pexels.com and I'm just going to choose, let me see which one I'm going to go with. Should we search for something? Let's search for cars. Okay, so we have some cars here. I am going to go with, okay, how about we go with this one? Okay, I'm going to go in and download this one here and say download selected file. I want to show you something very, very exciting here. I'm going to select my image here and then on the content, I'm going to go in and find my image. It's in the downloads folder and here it is. Double click on that. And then I'm going to upload it. Okay, so now I have my image. So what's really cool here is I can select my row settings here. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you something quickly. I can select my image and then over here on the image, I can set this as a square. I can also go in and set it as a portrait. Look at that. But of course, if it's in a smaller space, it is going to be the right size or the appropriate size. But what I want to show you here is, let's say you want to have a really cool design here. You can just go in and set this to full width. Look at that. So now I have my full width and it's covering majority of the space. So all these are presets that you can use as you are designing with Crafter Pro. Okay, so let's go in and add our image in here just to make this look a bit nicer. I'm going to go to image and icon, select my image, upload, and you can see there it looks really, really nice. Now we can also do the same. Let's just delete this. Oops. Let's delete these and duplicate it. Now, because I have auto grid set, everything is going to be in place. I can even add another one here if I wanted to. And everything just looks very, very neat. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 3 examples. So just like that, I was able to go in and design this. Now, I want to show you something really, really cool. Now, let's say your client says, hey, you know what? I want a darker hero area, okay? Because this version here is not doing, great for me. What you can do is to come over here to your canvas, okay? We're going to go in and let's duplicate the canvas. So what we're going to do now is select this one and we are going to just change everything over. Now, I want you to see how fast this is going to be, okay? So with this selected, I'm going to select my background and I'm just going to come over here to my background and choose dark, okay? So just like that, we're in dark mode. Next, I'm going to now go to my heading and notice how quickly I'm going to do this. So selecting my heading here, I'm going to go to design and then over here on the heading text, click on the presets and I'm going to say heading light. I'm going to go to the paragraph text here. Same thing. I'm going to go to my presets, text light. Do you see that? I'm going to come over here and in fact, that one could work, but let's see. Text light. I mean, this is so effortless. If you're designing websites for clients, this will be a joy. Next, I'm going to come over here to my blurb and let's get rid of primary. And now we have dark. But do you see what happened here? I noticed that my preset here is not correct. Now, what I can do here is to edit the preset and save it. Check this out. I'm going to select my preset, okay? And then I'm going to come over here now to the dark mode, click on this gear icon, and now I'm in edit mode. I'm going to go into design tab, and then I'm going to go into my spacing, and I'm going to choose medium, padding all medium. Boom. And look at that. Just like that, I can go in now and save my preset and say yes. So now if I go to this one, I can just get rid of that, go to my dark version, do the same over here, go to the dark version. I mean, how easy is that? So now I have the darker version. Just as simple as that. Now, of course, this is packed full of features. Packed full of features. I can save this. Now, let's say I've spent a lot of time, and this is ideal for a design agency. Let's say I've spent a lot of time, I've created all my presets here, and I would like to export them. Well, what you can do is to come over here. Let's just refresh this, make sure everything is fine, and then we're going to go to export. So you can see here we have all these variables and all these colors, and let's say you want to share your design system with your colleagues, or you want to share this amongst your design team. What you can do is to come over here. First of all, you can search. So let's say what I want to export is the text. I can search and look at this. All my text, variables, and colors, or anything relating to text has been selected. You see that? Isn't that cool? Now, if I want to clear, I can clear that. Now, by default, everything is all selected and you can see that. But now let's say I want to export my design system, but there's a few things I want to exclude. For example, I want to exclude the primary color, the secondary color, and yeah, basically I want to, you know what? It's going to be a lot of clicking. You can see that, right? So I can go in now and say none. Okay, over here, just on the colors. And then I'm just going to choose what I want to export. So I'm going to go primary, secondary, heading text color, and body text color. And that's it on the colors. If I come over here to the top, you notice now that it's 32 out of 72 that I'm going to export. I mean, how cool is that? If I come over here to the fonts, again, I have my two fonts here. Let's say I exclude the heading and just leave the body. If I come over here to the top, you can see my colors here have changed as well. My fonts have changed. 1 out of 2 are selected. We have also our presets here, 260 presets. Now, if I come over here to my presets and these are all listed, I can go in here and choose exactly what I want. So let's say I don't want to have anything to do with the audio. I can uncheck that like that. And then back over here to the top, you can see 257 out of 261. Okay, now I can say download design system. And just like that, my design system has been downloaded. Here it is. I know it has a crazy long name. This is something that I may change. I don't know. Now you can rename this. And this design system is what you then open up a new website, install the plugin, and then over here on the import, you just drag it into the variable area here and replace. So at this stage, you're probably saying, but Mac, why do we have drop variables and drop presets here? Well, it could be that there are some designers, Divi designers, right, that want to export using the normal way over here in the Divi builder. So if I come over here to my variable manager, you can export your variables by coming over here like that. You give it a name and export. Okay. Now this only exports your variables. Now, if you want to export your presets, this is where you would come over here to your presets and then say export presets. Now, do you notice that you can't go in here and choose which presets to export or which presets to exclude? You can't do that. And this is where the power of Krafter comes in. You are able to go in and select. In fact, I've shown you how to do that. Okay. So anyway, so if someone here gives you a file which was exported here, this is the file that you drop in here in the appropriate place. And then you choose either if you want to merge or replace, you do your preview and then you import and pretty much you are good to go. Guys, I have spent quite a lot of time. I mean, my head is spinning. I'm super excited that at least this is done. For those of you that purchased Krafter Pro, you do not have to pay any extra, okay? Because you're on the lifetime, unless of course you're on the yearly membership. You don't have to pay any extra. This is absolutely free. It's going to be available for download today, okay? Now, for those of you that want to design professional looking websites with Divi, with a design system and the proper way of managing your presets. Guys, if you're going to design websites without presets, you're wasting your time in Divi 5. You're wasting your time. This is not Divi 4. This is Divi 5. There is no shortcuts. There's no way around it. If you design your websites without presets, you are going to spend hours and hours and hours, and you're going to repeat the same process each and every time you start designing your website. So this is definitely something that you need. And if you take a look here, you can see everything that you need is here if you want to reset everything. Now, I know I didn't mention what the reset is about. The reset is ideal if you have a website which has, you know, those presets which don't have clamp. You just want to get rid of all of them and then install a proper design system, which in this case is Krafter Pro. This is the ideal way of the reset. But anyway, I'll be doing more tutorials on this. Guys, for those of you that want to support me for all the work that has gone to Krafter Pro, you can do so by buying me a coffee. The link to that will be in the video description below. And for those of you that haven't purchased Krafter Pro yet, guys, this is the time to purchase the lifetime Krafter Pro. This is an investment. You can use this on unlimited websites. You can use this pretty much anywhere. Okay. This works on existing websites. It works on brand new websites. It works on old websites, as I've shown. When you purchase Krafter Pro, you're also going to be part of the Crafter Pro designers community. This is a specific community for Crafter Pro users. Okay, so you're going to be able to get help. Now, a lot of our designs are going to have this base and foundation. All the other starter websites are going to have this base. So it is very, very important that you purchase Crafter Pro. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'd like to hear your feedback. If you have anything that's not working, please let me know in the community. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. I'm going to bed now.